Every November, modern samurai from around the world gather in Tokyo. The All Japan Sword Traders Forum is the world's largest show of its kind. Over 70 dealers participate, and swords and various fittings are bought and sold. On display are swords from every period, dating from the 12th century up to the present. Prices start at $1,000, with some exceeding $500,000. In recent years, overseas participants have become increasingly prominent.
I bought one katana today and I bought the tachi yesterday.
Safune Sukesada, Tensho Jidai. It was used in battle. It's very historic.
This artist has even designed sword decorations. Anime and movies have enhanced interest in Japanese sword culture. But enthusiasm for swords is much more than just a passing fad. Late October. Prior to the forum, a networking event for world sword enthusiasts is held. One of the organisers is Robert Hughes from Canada. While teaching at a university, he's been a pioneer in disseminating sword information in English for about 40 years. His fascination with swords began with the martial art of Iaido.
It's like the United Nations of sword collectors, the UN. We're doing our best to create a chance for people to interact hands-on with important Japanese cultural objects.
The sword enthusiasts look forward to a kind of challenge at the networking event.
これは入札鑑定と言いまして、武士の間なんかでされてた知的義務みたいなことですね。
The names of the swords are concealed. Based on their characteristics, the players try to identify their period, place of origin, and swordsmith.
これそれぞれ全部時代が違うんですね。みんな同じように光ってて、風にしか見えないかもしれないですけど、今のワインテイストじゃないですけども、やっぱり見た時の瞬間に感じる、そういうものが理解できてくると、また刀を見る楽しみっていうのもまた増えてくるんですよ。
They can all be described as just swords, but they exhibit subtle differences according to when and where they were made. The shape of the blade's point, for example, reflects the trends of its time.
So the first part of Kante is looking at the Sugata. So we have an elongated Shukisaki. We have quite a lot of some tapering. The Hamon seems to be very Suguha, gentle notar. So I would say early Nambokusho, Soshu.
The participants closely examine the swords and identify their origins one by one. But there is one sword that troubles them all.
I think it might be Yamato, but I'm not sure.
I think it's going to be something quite old.
I think it's maybe Yamashiro somewhere. Is it good? Bad?
Yeah, I don't know.
No?
Finally, the sword appraiser provides the correct answers and details.
So, sword number 5 was by Satsuma Motohira. Sword number 5 is actually a copy of a Kamakura period Yamato Tegai sword.
In fact, it was a sword made in the 19th century, forged in Satsuma, now Kagoshima Prefecture. But it was a perfect replica of a 13th century sword from Nara.
It's almost too Yamato and not Satsuma enough. So everybody had a lot of trouble with sword number 5.
The study of Japanese swords is a lifetime of study. Every time you pull out a sword, there's something different, something new, something exciting. So these people, they're sword junkies. So sword special words, most of these collectors know them, but they don't have fluency in Japanese. So many of them did not have a deep background with historical information or the periods of history or the importance of a Japanese swordsmith.
To fully understand swords, you need a deep knowledge of Japanese history and culture. But Hughes says that knowledge is merely the entrance. Tracing back about 1,000 years, the Japanese sword evolved as the samurai society developed. It was not merely a fighting tool, but a symbol of strength, and the owner found spirituality in his swords. However, following Japan's defeat in 1945, the Allied powers confiscated swords nationwide. More than 3 million swords were destroyed, and more than 1 million found their way overseas.
At these events in the United States, gun shows, many of the dealers actually didn't want to sell the swords to Japanese dealers because then they were going to go right back to Japan. At that time, some of the Japanese dealers, as soon as they approached the table, some of the American dealers would raise the price.
Hughes frequently travels to the United States to hunt historically valuable swords, using his position as a non-Japanese.
And I became a sword hunter. And through that process, over probably 20 years, I managed to bring back around 800 swords. You know, if they remain in the United States and they're cared for, that's one thing. But if they remain in the United States and they're allowed to get rusty, then that's tragic.
Deep in the remote mountainous regions of Wakayama Prefecture, there is a workshop where a modern swordsmith continues to forge Japanese swords even today. Adachi Shigefumi has preserved high-level sword forging techniques with a tradition spanning more than a millennium.
本業でそれでしておる人は120、30人もういてないかわからんですね。お客さんがないからです。明日の研究、次の研究のために材料と木炭を買うのが僕らの今の現実です。
The Japanese sword is now regarded as a traditional craft or work of art. But in the current sword boom, swords circulating online vary in quality. Crafting a new sword using traditional methods costs at least $7,000. These days, swordsmiths receive surprisingly few orders. In such circumstances, Hughes acted as an intermediary in bringing in an order from the United States. The client was J.T. Nesbitt, an industrial designer from Louisiana who creates unique motorcycles.
While being a good caretaker of antiques is a noble pursuit, the only way to ensure the survival of the tradition is by commissioning new work. Engaging and supporting craftsmen in one's own time is also the only way that you will ever be remembered for your participation.
He requested a magnolia, the Louisiana state flower, to be engraved on one side of the blade and an ume blossom, the Wakayama prefectural flower, on the other.
作業しながらその人の顔浮かんできます。刀というものを作りながら物を言わない、冷たなもんですけど、このものに教えてもらうんですよ。とにかく作品の向こうに魂があるんですよ。それさえ自分で理解できたらね、清潔な日本刀ができると思うんですよ。邪気のないね。魂との架け橋ですね。
Through every stage of production, from establishing the concept to completion, took 1 year. Finally, Adachi engraved the requested design. The two flowers are the very soul imbued into the blade.
So, in a way, like the role I've been playing is a cultural bridge. So people of different nationalities can come and they share this topic, this passion. Their passion. The content is a Japanese sword and it transcends borders.
We start to talk and ask about how we started our hobby and things like that. So it's quite very interesting.
Great. Amazing. We met very amazing new people.
海外の方も日本刀に興味があれば、その人がすなわちもう侍ですから。
Foreigners greatly appreciate the swords born and treasured in Japan. Transcending national borders, sword culture is being passed down to the future.